Good evening and welcome. I am here with my fellow commentator Katelyn Constantine and myself, Ashton Dickinson, and we are here to watch the Baker Hornets go to war with the Davidson Warriors. By Baker having a record of 2-1, making the win versus Murphy 26-15, the win versus Viger 19-13, and last week taking the L to Theodore 14-26. The Davidson Warriors record is 1-2, having a loss to Daphne 0-3, a loss to McGill 6-15, and last week retrieving themselves, making themselves look better. Last week having a score against Foley of 24-7. Katelyn, how do you feel about tonight's game?
I'm really excited for tonight's matchup. I mean, last year we took the loss to Davidson. It was a really bad loss with a score of 41-21. But I'm hoping that we can redeem ourselves and that we can redeem ourselves from last week's game as well.
Yes, I think tonight's game will be very good. I think it will be a very interesting game to watch how the Davidson Warriors defense is good, and also the Bakers defense is very good in the offense. So that's going to be a game to see how they go head to head after the Baker Hornets has lost to them last year. So I'm interested about tonight's game.
I'm also interested to see how the coaches do, saying as our coach, Danny Smith, this is his third season coaching the Baker football team, but otherwise, Davidson's coach, Fred Riley, this is his 14th season as the head coach for Davidson. I'm interested to see how that's going to play out tonight.
Yes, and we most certainly can't forget about our spotlight player of tonight, Fernando Buildup, who is the running back, a junior, 5'10", 185 pounds, and from what I've been seeing these past few weeks, he definitely knows how to execute. So I think we have a fair shot tonight. What do you think?
I think that this is going to be an interesting game. I think it's too soon to call, but I think it's going to play out interesting. And, Fernando, I've seen him throughout the season, and he's definitely proved himself to be one of our star players. He is definitely qualified for this title.
Yes, and from the look of things, it looks like the fans are here to support Baker to see how we do tonight's game, judging what happened last season. So the house is packed, and I'm just ready for the game.
I think they are too, as they all stand to salute our flag and our nation.
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The best way to start off a football game.
Yes, most definitely. Since we're here at our home field, live from the Hive in West Mobile, Alabama, the energy most definitely seems to be here.
We've had a lot of luck playing in our home field. We've gotten both of our wins here. We didn't have as much luck at visiting the Theodore field, but I think that we'll be able to take the home advantage and be able to get us some very high points on the board tonight.
Yes, and our very interesting season schedule this year showed us having 7 home games here this year. So that's very interesting judging to how many we had last year, which weren't that many. So I think that's great. The Baker Hornets truly have a chance to defend their field, defend their house, as packed as it is, and I know that's exactly what they plan on doing tonight.
Yeah, I agree. As excited as I am for the football game tonight, I'm also equally excited for the halftime show. I know our band has been working really hard on their show. They even got to perform this morning on the radio for a sports broadcasting station and be able to play their songs over the radio this morning.
Yes, the halftime show will most definitely be great, judging that these band members have been working on this show since the end of last school year and all throughout the summer. So I know the show will be a pretty big hit.
I agree. I'm kind of getting anxious as this game is starting to start.
Yes, as we sit here and wait for both teams to touch the field.
I've noticed I was here early and I was able to see the two teams practicing, and I think that we've got unity on our side. As I saw us practicing, the team gets along great, and that is a great asset to have on a football team.
Yes, and also both teams most definitely looked focused. As we can see right now, the captains are now coming out. Davidson Warriors and the Baker Hornets captains are now out.
We're getting ready to see the pre-time show, and I'm excited.
Yes.
The crowd is very excited as it's packed out with family and fans, and they're all getting ready to see Baker take on this win.
Yes, and also I would just like to say salute to all the students that came out with the Cowboys and Indian themes tonight, titled as the Hornet Hooligans. You can tell they're pumped, they're ready to go. They're ready to see how the game is as well. And even though we took a loss last week, it's good to see that these students are still following us, trailing with us, and keeping up that team spirit.
I was at last week's game, and I was able to see
Yeah,
how the Hornet family was able to support their team, even though we did take the loss, and that was kind of brutal for us. We were able to support our team, and I saw as they all lined up to shake hands with all the football players as they headed back to the bus to head home.
Yes, we most definitely had faith. We didn't give up. We didn't get sad that we took a loss against Theodore. We still kept our energy going, and that's what's good about tonight's game, because we brought the energy from last game and just carried it on, smooth sailing to this game.
You're right. In the versus the Viger game, that was interesting to watch, as the last quarter of the game was very intense. You could see the football fans running up and down the stadium trying to get everyone pumped, get energetic, as we were able to get some more points on the board at the last couple minutes of the game.
Yes, most definitely. Like I said before, the school spirit is most definitely here. That's good. And the people are most definitely here to see what both teams will do as they go head to head.
Although a competitive side to a team is very important, and the skill that we most definitely have, it's also equally important to have the support of their friends and their family to come out and support them and to bring them spirit, because I've seen as these players get, lack of a better word, hyped as they hear their friends cheering them on.
Yes, most definitely.
We see as number 63, number 15, number 51, and 49 head out to shake hands with Davidson's captains for tonight.
Yes, and also tonight we can't forget about our starting lineup for the Hornets. Starting on the defensive line, we have Kayla Mckenzie at defensive end, Jonathan Exonor at nose tackle, and Jordan Timmons at defensive end. And as we have been seeing these past few weeks, our defense is most definitely a powerhouse. Starting at linebacker, we have Trent McAdams at outside linebacker. Hunter Roberts at inside linebacker, Terrell Crane at inside linebacker, and Ozzie Quinney at outside linebacker. And starting in the secondary, we can't forget about how good this player was last week as he caught a pick six and scored it all the way in the end zone. Aries Lawson at cornerback, Ronnie Cleveland at strong safety. We can't forget about him last week either, and Christian Harrell at free safety and Michael Kidd at cornerback.
Then we also have on our offensive side the starting offensive line as Justin Norwood at the left tackle, Dalton Lehman at left guard, John Webster at center, Jeremiah Wenrostro at right guard, Adam Stacker at right tackle. These players are definitely essential to tonight's game, as we also have our offensive playmakers, Jacoby Rogers at wide receiver, Greg Carroll at wide receiver, Dalen Stallworth at fullback, Fernando Billups at running back, and Devin Robinson at quarterback. Several of those players are going to be spotlighted this season, and I can definitely see why. They have been essential and vital to these past week's games, as they have scored us many points working with their team, and they definitely have the spirit and the skill to be called the star players.
Yes, because when we played against Viger, Aries Lawson, he caught the pick six had the house on the tip of their toes as trailing him on as he ran it in the end zone. So that's pretty good. And Ronnie Cleveland last week at strong safety scored at Theodore High School. He caught a pick six and he scored the ball as well. So, that's good to know that our defense is good as a powerhouse. And I'm very anxious to see where this game goes, knowing that both teams' defenses are powerhouse and knowing that Baker has a powerhouse of an offense. So I'm just hyped, I'm pumped, I'm ready to go to see where tonight games take us and to see what the records will be for each of the teams at the end.
I'm glad that I can be confident enough to look for these team members' numbers, that I can know that they're going to be the ones that are going to help us score some points to bring down the Warriors tonight and be able to get us some positive yarding.
Yes, most definitely.
We can see as the fans are packed in as they're about to watch the pre-show game. We have our dance team, our band members, our color flag, as they worked all last summer and almost every day since the beginning of school to get this halftime show and the pre-show game done.
Yes, most definitely. The pre-show game, as we walk around the campus of Baker High School and asking, like last week when our sideline reporters got some info on the band shows that will be happening before the game and during the halftime, it's just good to know that we are in for a good show tonight.
Yeah, as you just saw, we saw our mighty Baker Hornets running onto the field. They're pumped and they're ready to get this game going and be able to take home the W tonight. I think they're confident in their abilities and that they know that we can take on the Davidson Warriors tonight.
Yes, and like every team should have, we see our cheerleaders cheering us on. We see our band cheering us on as well, and we see our team packed, ready to go. Everyone's out here looking great, looking focused. Like, we're ready to play some football, and that's what the game is all about.
I agree. It looks like we're getting ready to start the game.
Yes, with the referees associating and shaking hands and everything at the 50-yard line.
Looks like, I'm guessing that Baker was able to win the coin toss and they have possession of the ball as the game starts out tonight.
Yes.
I'm excited to see how our defense and our offense first, how they do tonight, as if they're able to get some positive yarding, because I hear that as our offense and defense is great, I hear that Davidson's defense is equally as well.
Yes. And we see that the special teams are getting pumped and ready to go. They're ready to go. They're about to go out on the field.
The two teams are getting ready to line up. They're running out there, getting pumped, ready to start off at the 50-yard line. The crowd is sitting on the edge of their bleachers, which cannot be too comfortable. as they're getting ready for Davidson to kick the ball off to our Mighty Hornets.
Yeah, now punt return team, we're most definitely looking for the Baker Hornets to return the ball, and most likely we would really love for them to score as a powerhouse as our offense is. That would be great, a great way to start off the game. The game just in the first quarter with 12 minutes on the clock, that would be great.
I know at our last home game that we were able to get some points in the first couple minutes of the first quarter. And I hope we can do the same again.
Yes, and as you can see, Jacoby Roberts has just caught the ball, and he's downfield. Stopped at the 25-yard line.
Davidson obviously has a really good kicker as they were able to kick it all the way from the 40-yard line to Baker's end zone. But Baker was able to pick up the ball and able to get some positive yarding, bringing it near the 25-yard line.
Yes, and as our starting offensive line are going out, they are here with the offense ready to tackle and battle with the Davidson's defense and try to move the ball and most definitely execute.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's what we've got on our side is we've got the execution, we've got the will, and we've got the talent in order to pull this game off with a win.
Hand off over the right side. We're past the 25.
They weren't able to get very far in that play.
No, as you can see, it was just handed off to the right side. Only got a little past the 25-yard line. So
I guess we can see that Davidson's defense is gonna be hard to beat tonight. But I have faith in our offense, and I have faith that we can do this.
And our starting quarterback tonight is Fernando Bullocks, as he's doing a good job with handing off the ball, letting Josh Pruitt, who just went right past the 25-yard line.
We got to see a little bit of Fernando last week as Devin Robinson, our main quarterback, got injured. And so we got to see Fernando be able to take his position with grace and with the skill that he needed to be able to pull that off.
Yes, and it was just great to see him take action. No nervousness or anything. He was still ready to play football. He still had love for the game after Devin Robinson got hurt. And here he is at quarterback again as we line up a little past the 25-yard line. And the ball has just been passed off as our O-line is moving.
Yeah, we weren't able to get that very far. It seemed that there was a little bit of miscommunication between the Baker Hornets.
Yes.
And it seems as if one of our players has just been injured.
Yes, our player, Dalen Stallworth.
No, he seems to be okay as he is able to run off the field.
Yes.
At least we know that our paramedics were able to be there in case he needed any type of assistance.
Yes, our athletic trainers were there, and he had enough confidence just coming in the game after getting hurt. He had enough confidence to just, get right up. And for the fullback that has now just been in to replace him is number 35, known as Ryan Richard.
Well, we've already got our third down. I don't know if we'll be able to get any positive yarding as we are brought down again.
Yes.
We need to be able to up our offense. I know we're not as good as our defense, but we need to be able to bring that back up and be able to get some positive yarding, or else we're going to be stuck here in the first quarter.
Oh, yes, most definitely. As you can see, we've only moved right before the 35th-yard line, having the ball on the 34th-yard line. So let's just hope we can move and execute and most definitely get the ball up the field as it is hiked to Fernando Bullocks and passed off to Josh Pruitt, number 11, tackled right at the 32-yard line, at the 32nd-yard line.
We are now heading into our second down and at near the 35-yard line. So I'm hoping that we're able to pick up some positive yards. We need to be able to get a new set of downs and be able to get closer to our end zone.
Yes, we need to be able to just execute with the ball to just let people know that the Baker Hornets are that team that they know we are. And the ball is passed off, moved right past the 45th yard line by Dalen Stallworth.
That was a great play, as we now have a new set of downs, which is what we were hoping for.
Yes, most definitely.
So I'm hoping that we'll be able to continue this throughout the game, be able to get some new downs, some positive yarding,
Yes,
and
it's
be able
very
to get
good
some points on the board.
Yes, it's very good to know only at 9 minutes and 24 seconds that we're almost close to another first down as our O-line is still pumped and ready to go. The O-lineman blocking, Fernando Buildup fulfilling his job, handing the ball off right to Josh Pruitt as he moves right past the 45th yard line again. He's most definitely doing his best, getting through the way.
In watching football, it's usually better to throw the ball as long as you have a good quarterback and a good receiver, but it seems to be working for the Baker Hornets as they run the ball through the Davidson Warriors, and they're able to pick up some positive yarding. So I'm hoping that our offense is able to keep this up throughout the rest of the game.
Yes, I am hoping that our offense is able to keep it up as well, but I most definitely think we will be able to keep it up with the energy that's here tonight. And as we're down and the ball is passed to Josh Pruitt again, and a flag is now being thrown on the plate right as he crosses almost to the 50-yard line.
I hope this isn't on our Hornets. I don't really know what happened there, but I hope it wasn't on our Baker Hornets. We'll just have to see what the ref called in order to see what happened there.
Yeah, we will. We will just have to see what he have called by him picking up the flag right off the 45th-yard line.
It seems that it was, in fact, on the offense as we were brought back again to the 35-yard line. We lost a couple of our yards there and are bringing back, and it's making it even more difficult for us to get some positive yarding and getting closer to receiving a touchdown.
Yes, as difficult as it is, I still think our offense will go out here and dominate tonight. No hope has been lost as we are running off the field, as the coaches are talking to our players and the Davidson coaches are talking to their players. You can still see the energy. No one is tired by being the beginning of the game, meaning both teams are in shape, which is very good. And our offense are still pumped and ready to go. No love lost. They're still just here ready to play the game, and that's really what all that matters tonight, especially after taking the loss against Theodore that no one expected the Baker Hornets to take last week. So it's good to know that the energy level is still here, because that's all that's matter. That's just all that matters at this point, is that the energy level stays up.
8:26 remaining in the first quarter.
I agree.
We got 8 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
We still have our second down, and we're lined up at the 35-yard line. We need to get some positive yarding and be able to recover what we lost with that flag.
Yes, our quarterback Fernando Bullock actually running the ball and actually getting tackled right before the 30-yard line. It looks like that was going to be a pass tonight, but
he looked as if he was planning to throw it to number 11, Joshua Pruitt, but unfortunately number 11 was covered by a Davidson Warrior and was not able to get that ball, so he had no other choice but to run it, but the Warriors lived up to the reputation and brought him down before he could get any further.
Yes, and like I said earlier, both defenses are really good. The Davidson Warriors defenses, they're doing good, and the ball has just been passed off to Joshua Pruitt, and him stopping right past the 30-yard line.
We are now heading into our fourth down with very few. We haven't been able to get very many positive yards, and this isn't the best way to start off a game, but you can see that our fans haven't given up hope. The Hornet hooligans are still cheering on their team tonight.
Yes, and unfortunately, we did not progress as well as we really hoped we did. Our kickoff team is now out here kicking off the ball to the Davidson Warriors. And he has been stopped a little pass
By
deflection
number
yard
49,
line. Then the tackle has
Richard Edmond.
been made by number 49, Richard Edmond.
Ball caught at about the
Yes, he was
43,
able
returned all the way to the
to kick,
43.
punt the ball all the way near the 40-yard line, but Davidson was able to pick up the ball, not be able to go anywhere with it as they were brought down by the Baker Hornets, but they were able to now have possession of the ball near the 40-yard line with their first set of downs.
Yes, and our starting defensive line, our starting secondary and linebackers are now in, and I'm just anxious to see what they do tonight, judging what just happened with Davidson's defense.
I'm hoping that our defense is able to bring them down before they're able to get anywhere.
Yes.
And it seems they were. They were able to get a few yards in there, but we were able to bring them down before they could get closer to their end zone than we wanted them to be. Which we don't want them to be anywhere near their end zone, but
Number 31 for Davidson Warriors has just been tackled by number 12. And another tackle has been made by our very own Hunter Roberts, number 31, right before the 45th yard line. So that's good to see that our defense is most definitely executing and progressing tonight by getting in the backfield, making the tackle, and stopping the ball. And that's what our defense is expected to do tonight, as the Davidson Warriors defense is very good. So it's good to know that we're on our grind, we're stopping the ball, and that's good to know. And hopefully our offense will be back in pretty soon. And the tackle has just been made again by one of our Baker Hornets.
yes, number 4.
Picks up about 2 yards.
Number 4 was able, and number 31s were able to bring down the Warriors. They were able to get the ball. They were able to get a few positive yarding. Not enough for another set of downs as they head to their 4th down. But they only have 1 yard to go in order to get a new set of downs. So we need to be able to bring them down before they make 1 positive yard.
Yes, and it's good to know that our defense was doing very good with, just coverage and watching the backfield very good, as our strong safety, Ronnie Cleveland, on that pass play just made the tackle with the help of Hunter Roberts, which is number 31 on the Baker Hornets team. So it's good to know that the defense is working together, looking for the ball and putting a stop to the ball, because that's what should be done tonight to get our offense back out.
I agree.
Which will hopefully bring some points to the board, as we are here with the score still being 0-0 with 5 minutes and 33 seconds left in the first quarter.
It seems that the refs were able to tell that they were able to get past their line of scrimmage and were able to get a new set of downs. The Baker Hornets did not seem very pleased with that call. Not at all. But it seems that they were able to get their whole new set of downs, but this does not mean that they're going to be able to get anywhere with our defense.
Yes, that's most definitely right. Our defense still had the hope, even though they did nothing bad. They did stop the ball on a few of the plays, and the Davidson offense did move the ball on a few of their plays. So no hope is lost as we go back out here and line up against the Davidson offense.
I have faith in our defensive team. I know that they will be able to bring down Davidson's offense. I know that Davidson's offense is really good, but I know that our Baker Hornets defense is better. So I have that type of faith and confidence in our team.
Yes, as they line up against the Davidson Warriors, looking very safely to see where the ball will be moved. And as the ball was just thrown to the wide receiver, number 81 on Davidson's team, he did not complete the pass.
It bounced off his helmet. It seems that they were not prepared for that. You can hear Davidson's side booing as it was thrown to Davidson's number 81. It bounced off his helmet and was not able to retrieve it after that.
Yes, and it's good to know that our strong safeties and our cornerbacks were right there covering him, ready to make the tackle even if he did catch it. And now a tackle has been made by number 30 Frank.
Tackle made by number 30, Frank Hurst.
Frank Hurst, who just stopped the ball right before the 50-yard line, tackling Kobe Blunt on Davidson's offense.
That was a great play by our Hornets. They were able to watch out. It seems as if they were able to predict what would happen and be able to prevent them, as Davidson now has their third down, this chance and one more chance to get any positive yarding, and they still have many yards to go.
Yes, and another pass has just been made by Davidson's quarterback out to number 22, and the pass was not completed.
It seems as if Davidson was not paying attention to their quarterback as he was setting up to throw the ball, and it seemed Baker was not ready for that type of pass.
Yes, the teams are out. Davidson's punt team are out. Davidson's kickoff team are out here kicking off the ball to us. Hopefully we can return it and get a good amount of yards.
It seems that they were able to punt the ball all the way down to our 30-yard line. No Baker Hornet was there, but the Davidson was able to get the ball. That doesn't mean that they get possession of the ball, but they were there at least.
Yes, they were there. And
it seems as if our team is there, but I think they need to have their mind in the game.
And our offense are finally going back out as we had hoped they would with 4 minutes and 28 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. No downs on the board. Hopefully we can get a first down, gain enough yards to get a first down, and eventually gain enough yards to get a new set of downs. And the ball is now being passed to Joshua Poole again, and he has just been tackled right past the 25-yard line.
Yeah, we can see throughout this game that Davidson's defense is really good, and that this is going to be a head-to-head game. And that I hate to quote Disney, but Baker needs to get their head in the game tonight.
Yes.
And they need to be able to be prepared. They should have been prepared for Davidson's defense, and they need to be ready to get their offense together and be able to get some positive yards.
Yes, it's second down, a little past the 25-yard line as our Baker offense lines back up on the ball. And as we are here just watching closely as the ball is being hiked to Fernando Bullets, and a tackle has been made, actually brought back on Joshua. Actually, Joshua Poole has seemed to have been brought a little back closer to the 20-yard line this time.
We are now heading into our third down, and we still have to get 80 yards. 80 yards to get to our end zone, which will not be easy, but I believe that our Baker Hornets can do it.
Yes,
I have faith.
Yes, I believe our Baker Hornets offense and defense are capable of moving the ball, executing the ball on offense, and most definitely stopping the ball on defense.
We only have 3 minutes left in this quarter, so they need to be able to play fast.
And Fernando Bullocks passing the ball to our wide receiver, Jacoby Rogers, who was not able to complete the pass.
Number 47, Jeff Mort.
It seemed that Davidson was right behind our receiver and was able to knock down the ball before our wide receiver was able to get possession of the ball, which means we are back at the 25-yard line, our fourth down, and I think we're going to have to punt it here because we are too close to the end zone to risk them being able to score.
As you can see, we are here punting the ball, hoping that we can stop the Davidson's defense as they are trying to return the ball.
Yes, our punter Robert Malone was able to punt the ball at the 50-yard line, near the 50-yard line, where the Davidson Warriors will now be lined up and try, maybe not succeed, but try to get some positive yards and get some points on the board.
Yes, and I just hope our defense can do as well as they did last time, and our offense can continue to do as good by executing the ball, even though the yards has not been by much. That's good, because I'm just here looking at all the excitement, just waiting for everyone to cheer when the ball goes in the end zone. And
it seemed that in that last play, Davidson had possession of the ball, and he went to go run with it, but slid into the 45-yard near the 45-yard line. Wasn't able to get too far. Wasn't touched by any of our players, but slipped on the grass.
Yes, and it's good to know that our player number 30, Frank, was there covering him to the best of his ability. And a pass was just thrown by Davidson quarterback, and the wide receiver ended up taking another route, meaning that he did not complete the pass. So the ball was actually thrown.
It seemed that our number 6 was almost able to get the possession of the ball, but was not quite there. But I'm sure that we'll be able to get the ball back within the next two downs.
The quarterback, he did throw it a little short, a little deep into the Davidson sideline, and a pass has just been made by number 22, which is a wide receiver. And
Johnson's
the ball
pass
was
falls
not
incomplete.
the pass was not completed. The pass has been
Lane Callahan, please report.
Yeah, the Davidson quarterback was able to run it, to throw it all the way down to the 10-yard line near their end zone, hoping that their receiver would be there, but instead he wasn't. And even if he was, we had 3 of our players surrounding him, ready to take him down in the case that he did.
Yes, and our punt return.
That was a great play. We now have possession of the ball, and no, we don't. We do not have possession of the ball.
And we do have possession of the ball.
Yep. Okay.
All right, I seem to be playing a little tricks on you there with our offense lined up on the ball. Fernando handing the ball off. And now we will actually be sending down to our sideline reporter Stephany with an update on the hooligans and the emotions on the sideline.
Today's game is pretty exciting actually, because today's team is Cowboys and Indians. The Hornet Hooligans are very excited. They're all dressed with hats, boots, and their plaids. And the football players are very chill right now because they think they have the game in their pocket. Let's hope that's true. Back to you guys.
It seems that one of our players was just injured and is needing some assistance by those standing by, and it seems he's laying down and not able to get up, unfortunately.
Yes, and it's good to know that the athletic trainers are there making sure everything is good as they get him up. And it is one of our starting offensive linemen, Justin Norwood. It's good to see him walking off the field with confidence, no injuries looking too bad. So that's great.
I'm hoping that he'll be able to, if not play for the rest of next half, that he'll be able to play in the next few games, as he is an important part of our team.
Yes, and our O-line are going back out. We are lined up on the 10-yard line, only a second down, and we're here just hoping to execute the ball, and getting some good yardage would be great right now. I mean, can't you just imagine, like, getting the ball to the 50-yard line, or even better, just getting the ball in the end zone?
It seems that there's been a flag on the play. We only have 1 minute and 3 seconds left in this quarter. We need to get away from our end zone and be able to make it into
the defense's end zone.
Yes, you're right. We need to get some positive yarding here.
That is.
We have our second down. We're nearing the scrimmage line. No, we have received our first down. So we were able to get some positive yards, but we need to be able to get some points on the board going into the second quarter.
Yes, most definitely. With 55 seconds on the clock and the score still being 0-0. Let's just hope we can execute and move the football downfield in this amount of time. I think it's possible, but another flag has actually just been thrown on the plate.
It seemed that both teams seemed a little bit jumpy, and they wanted to get this play started, and both are earnest to get some points on the board, but we were unfortunately brought back at the near the 10-yard line, which is going to make it even more difficult to get some positive yarding and make it into the defensive end zone.
Yes, with 40 seconds on the clock, I don't think
time's just going down.
Yeah, time is just going down, and I'm just hoping we can execute throughout this time just going down. Our wide receivers are set and ready to go, looking like they're ready to complete the pass. Our quarterback, Fernando Buildup, has just thrown the pass to a missed pass by Jacoby Roberts as Fernando Buildup has thrown it downfield. The ball making it just to the 40-yard line, and the pass has been incomplete. Looks like the pass has been stopped by number 15 on Davidson's team.
You seen that number 7 ran out there on the Hornets. He ran out there to receive the ball, but the throw was a little bit short, and Davidson almost received possession of the ball, but it was an incomplete pass as he dropped it, which we are very grateful for.
Yes. And the offensive line are lined back up on the 15-yard line, and Fernando Bullets has just thrown a pass inside on the Davidson sideline. The pass has been incomplete. It looks like it could have possibly been going to our fullback, Dalen Stallworth, which is number 3.
We only have 6.2 seconds left in the game. It seems that both teams are heading into the second quarter of the game with no points on the board on either side.
Yes, and it also looks like Fernando Bullock, which is our spotlight player tonight, let's not forget that, is under a little bit of pressure, a little anxious or a little nervous as the Davidson's defense is most definitely executing. But like I said earlier, and like I am going to continue to say, as long as I see that no hope is being lost, no hope is lost. And the ball has just been handed off to Joshua Pruitt, who has just been stopped at the 15-yard line. And now this concludes the first period of the Baker Hornets going to war with the Davidson Warriors, with the score still remaining to be 0-0.
Baker better get some points on the board, or I'm afraid that they're going to have to go back into the field house and receive some encouraging but forceful words from the coach. And I would not want to be in there to hear that. So they need to get some points on this board in the next quarter.
Yes, as a football player, you know, I hear those words. And, you know, it's just good to know, like you said, the words, they are most definitely encouraging. They make you want to get up and get after it. And now we are now in second quarter, which is 12 minutes on the clock as both teams are meeting and are about to touch the field.
I knew this was going to be a difficult game, and I knew that we were going to head in, and it was probably going to be a close score, but I was at least hoping that that at least one team, hopefully ours, would be able to get some points on the board in the first quarter. Yes, unfortunately, that is not the case.
Yes, I was most definitely hoping that we would be up more than 6 in the Davidson Warriors. And it looks like our punt team is now out punting it to Davidson. Hopefully we can stop them from returning the ball into the end zone.
Yes, Davidson was lined up near the 20-yard line, punted the ball, and it landed near the 45-yard line. But in that play, there's a little bit of a scuffle between a Davidson Warrior and a Baker Hornet as they pushed each other around on the field, and that's not the sportsmanlike conduct that we're used to seeing in our Baker Hornets football team.
Yes, that is most definitely not the sportsmanlike or the sportsmanship that the Baker Hornets show. We usually play every game pretty calm, pretty smooth, but we usually play every game going to win as well, and that has never been a problem. As we can now see, our starting defensive line is back out, lined up on the Davidson Warriors offensive line, and hopefully our defense can do what they did the last time they were in and put a stop to the ball, which would keep Davidson from executing with the football. I think that's the only thing that matters tonight as we sit here and watch it. And also the only thing that matters is that the pass has been incomplete as the Davidson quarterback throws it to number 22 by the name of Anthony Williams. So it's good to know that that pass was incomplete because it looked at a little.
He was very close to the defensive end zone, and I don't think that we would have been able to recover from that if he had been able to make it into the end zone and pick up a touchdown.
Yes, most definitely. He was at the 5-yard line, actually a little past that, looking like he could be at the 3-hash line.
We were lined up near the 50-yard line,
Number 29, Christian Harrell makes the stop.
but they were Davidson was able to be brought down by our Hornets. Got my mind on another football game.
Yes, as you can see, you're just a little anxious that, I don't think no one's actually thinking straight right now. We're a little anxious. I mean, we are in the second quarter with a score of 0-0 with the Baker Hornets defense. We're just hoping that they can put a stop to the ball because, I mean, we are most definitely under pressure by being in second quarter. 10 minutes and 54 seconds on the clock. No scores on the board. And it looks like Davidson has just called for their first timeout of the game.
Our Hornets need to get coordinated. They need to come up with a game plan, and they need to be able to execute that plan in order for them to defend their end zone and be able to receive an interception and get the ball. I know that'll require for the coaches to be a little bit of a fortune teller, but we need to be able to pull this off. And there's got to be a lot of pressures on both teams as they're both in the second quarter with 0 points in the game on the board. And Davidson's trying to get the W this season as they did last year, and Baker's trying to get their W and be able to do better than last year.
Yeah, we're basically just trying to, use the term called revenge and get back to what's ours. I mean, especially after playing here at the Hive, which is our home field. I mean, we're most definitely just here waiting as we sit here and watch both teams go head-to-head with each other. And the pass was completed to number 22, but caused him to fumble by our number 10, which is Terrell Crane at linebacker. So it's good to know that he was right there. Even if he would have thought he could get some yardage, we were there to stop the yardage that he thought he could get. So, I think that's really good. It's still good to see that both energy levels on both teams has not lowered at any point in this game. Judging that both teams are 0-0, it's good to know that no one has given up, no team ever has lost hope.
You're right.
And they are punting the ball. Hopefully we can return it and get some good yards at it, as it has not been caught.
Yep, their punter was able to kick it near our defensive end zone near the 5-yard line. No Hornets were around that area. The Davidson Warriors were, but they still don't get possession of the ball. So I guess they're trying to prove themselves that they're worthy to go up against us.
Yes, and the energy level is still here as our offense goes back out. Everyone running, everyone pumped and ready to go. Looks like everyone is most definitely ready to do good as we line up right on or a little bit under the 5-yard line.
We need to stop. We have the ball, but we need to stop the defense. We cannot let them get an interception and get into our defense, into the offensive end zone.
Yes, and it's good to see Dalen Starwork, which is our very own number 3, executing stop at the 9-yard line. But hey, any yards or some yards, in this case with the score being 0-0, stopped at the 9-yard line is definitely a step, judging that we were just at the 5-yard line. So it's good to know that we were at 10 yards. Look like we have a second down on the 10-yard line, and our offense is down and they're ready to go.
You can see as the parents and the family of the players are watching, they are filled with the intensity and the pressure that they feel. But you can see the student section as they are pepped and they're ready to take home this W and rub it in the Davidson Warriors' face as they did to us last year.
Yes, and you know that's very good just to see the team spirit. I would just like to touch on that a little, just to see no team spirit has been lost, and that is very good because we have Buzz, which is our very own, our mascot out there. He's more pumped than anyone, and I mean that's just a great feeling to see that.
You're right.
And we have just broken the huddle. Our offense is back down on the ball, and everyone's ready to go. Let's just hope we can execute the ball this time.
Like I said earlier, we need to make sure that we stop the defense so that they are not able to receive an interception and get possession of the ball, or else we'll be stuck with them having possession of the ball at the 5-yard line, and it'll be easier for them to get a touchdown.
Yes, in this case, our quarterback actually had to run the ball. Fernando Billups tackled right at the 8-yard line, the 8 hash mark, a little right under the 10-yard line. So, you know, that's good. I mean, we're still executing, but we're not executing as good as we want to be. But, I mean, hey, like I said, the excitement is most definitely here, even though we are at 8 minutes and 55 seconds. And we have...
Fernando Billups gets just past the 10, maybe to the 11.
We weren't able to get very far, and we now have our 4th down. This is our last chance, and we need to be able to punt the ball further down the field and closer to the end zone, so that we'll be able to pick up some points, but get farther away for the Davidson.
Yes, and as much excitement is here tonight, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, how much excitement would be here, like, if a pick 6 is called once the Davidson's defense goes back in. And it looks like the ball has stopped a little under the 50-yard line, a little past the 45-yard line, at the 47-yard line.
I think, although we still have the spirit, I think both sides are getting kind of discouraged that we have 8 minutes left until halftime, and there are still no points on the board. Again, I'm afraid of what's going to happen in the field, in the field house, as the coaches talk to their players and they inform them on what they need to do coming into the second half. At the first game, we were losing against Murphy, but going into the second half, we were able to pick up many touchdowns in order to beat Murphy.
Yes, and it looks like our very own Michael Kidd, number 6, has just made the tackle on Kobe Blunt by number 31 on Davidson's team. So, you know, that's good to see him coming from the secondary and making a stop to the ball right past the 40-yard line.
Davidson now has possession of the ball near the 40-yard line. We must stop them. We cannot let them get points on the board before we do. We need to be able to stop their players, stop their offense, and not be able to let them get any positive yards.
And I most definitely agree with what you're saying right now, Katelyn. I couldn't agree more, actually. We have to get points on the board. Our defense has to execute and move them back. We have to stop the ball and stop every play that they run.
Unfortunately, although this may be our goal, it may be difficult to execute as their offense was just able to get a new set of downs. They weren't able to get that very far, maybe 3 or 4 yards in the last play, but we need to be able to stop them.
Yes, we most definitely need to be able to stop them, because the play just died and we're just sitting here on the edge of our seats waiting to see what's happening. Our defense is still ready to go. Hopefully we can put a stop to the Davidson Warriors. And a pass has just been made to their wide receiver by the number of 81, and the pass was completed.
Unfortunately, they were able to get a new set of downs and even closer to getting their touchdown.
Yes, with the football on the 15-yard line. I mean, only 15 yards to go. And the way that this offense is running the ball and passing the ball now, I can just say I'm just on the edge of my seat. And number 3 has just been. Oh, and a fumble was made by our very own number 12. He has recovered the football, and our offense is about.
That was very scary to watch as we saw the Davidson quarterback throw it down to his receiver and was able to make it through the swarm of Hornets, but was brought down near the 5-yard line, almost able to get into the end zone, but was brought down by our mighty Hornets.
Yes, that was very scary to watch, but I mean, it was very great to watch, to know that we can recover a fumble and actually gain some yardage off of it. So we're doing just exactly what I believe we could do tonight, execute with our defense most definitely being a powerhouse. I just can't, just let that fact pass us by.
Yeah, we were lined up at the near the 10-yard line. John Webster, number 68, was able to snap the ball, but we weren't able to get very far with it, unfortunately.
Yes, we weren't very able to get far with the football at all, but I mean, it's just good to know that it's back in our possession at this point with 5 minutes and 44 seconds left on the clock in the second quarter, and the score still being 0-0. I mean, hey, any chance of luck we can get at this point, that is most definitely what I am longing for. This is most definitely the goal, to just see the excitement. And I mean, it would just be a goal to just fulfill, us as Baker Hornets, and just how much excitement will be back once we get back here on Monday and everyone's talking about the game. Those are the sweeter things of life.
You're right.
Most definitely when you're going through, and most definitely when you're here watching the Friday night lights. So I'm just trying to keep all excitement as possible.
You're right. It's always the best feeling is when you're able to go to the game, witness Baker take the win, head into school the next Monday, and be able to share with your friends the experience and the win and the victory, the sweet taste of victory that you felt. And that's always the sweetest moments, and we've been able to experience that 2 times, and I hope that we'll be able to experience it again tonight.
Yes, I most definitely hope that we can experience that. I just most definitely hope that at the end of fourth quarter, and this game is called, that the record will be 3-1. I am claiming that, I am believing that, and I am just hoping that that can be the case with our offense running back out here. All energy, none has been lost, and we are ready to line up on the football right at the 8-yard line where the ball is, and we're just hoping to execute it up the field. I don't know what the quarterback is going to do yet, but we're finna see.
We need to get some yards.
Yes, we really do need to get some yards. And a pass has just been made, and it has been incomplete to our wide receiver, number 2, by Rayshon Christian. The pass was incompleted.
He was almost there, very close, but he was not able to run that fast or that far and be able to pick up the ball. That would have been amazing if he had. We would have been able to run it downfield, possibly scored. He did have a Davidson Warrior coming after him, but I think that he would have been able to get further than we thought.
Yes.
Tonight is a very important night, as we already have our winning record, but tonight, if we take home the L, it'll be equaled out, as it'll be 2-2. And we do not want that. We want Davidson to be able to take home the L and keep our winning record.
Yes, and we have actually just been pushed all the way back, as Devin Robinson, which is usually the main starting quarterback, had intentions on running it up the field after he got pushed back in the offense's end zone. So like I said, the Davidson's defense are most definitely executing. They are putting a stop to our ball, but our main job and our main focus is to move the ball and put a stop to their ball. And we are here punting it again. Hopefully, the Davidson Warriors don't get too far in the punt return.
You can see that our punt team, led by our punter Robert Malone, number 47, was able to punt the ball all the way from the 5-yard line near the 50-yard line. We have 4 minutes left in the game. Davidson has possession of the ball at midfield. We have our defense out there, and we need to be able to bring them down.
Yes, like you said, 4 minutes and 34 seconds in the second half. The first half is almost over. We have got to be feeling some pressure, and I mean not only us. I could just imagine the type of pressure that the Davidson Warriors are under, with them having a record of 1-2. And actually, we are most definitely under pressure with our record of 2-1. So I mean, it's just good to see that both teams are not at good state, but the score is 0-0. And number 9 has actually just made a pass, and it was incomplete. And he was able to throw it all the way down a little before our 10-yard line. And a timeout has been made.
It seemed that number 9, Davidson's quarterback, was looking to fake it off, to hand it off, but instead he threw it all the way down near the 20-yard line, hoping that his fellow teammates were going to be able to be there, but instead it was surrounded by Baker Hornets, but we were unable to receive that ball, and they were pushed back to the 45-yard line, which is going to make it even more difficult for them to get to the end zone, but easier for us if we're able to get an interception.
Yes, most definitely. And it looks like our defense is actually executing like I said they would, pushing the play back past the 35-yard line, when the Davidson Warriors were actually lined up on the 40-yard line. So this is exactly the execution that I was saying that we needed in this game. You know, our defense is most definitely a powerhouse, and it is good to just see us as a powerhouse making the Warriors lose all power, as the pass was just handed off to their running back number 31, and who is running the ball untouched. And unfortunately, he has scored in our end zone. And they now have 6 on the board.
He seems he was able to run fast and he had no one around him, no Hornets, no Davidson Warriors. He was able to make a clean cut through the swarm. Our defensive line was not all there, as he was able to break through it and into the defensive end zone. Unfortunately, it seems that we will be heading 3 minutes, 40 seconds left until the second half, and we'll be leading into that second half with Davidson having 6 points, and the kick was good, so 7 points now.
Yes, and unfortunately, hopefully our offense can get out here and actually tie the game. I mean, I would just feel more safe with the game being tied going into halftime, actually, than the game being up by 7 and us having 0. So at this point, it's good to see that the coaches, you know, they're pretty collected. They know what they're doing most definitely, and the energy is still here as our punt return team goes out to try their best to return the ball. And actually, it seems like the energy level has actually took a hike and has actually started rising as the players are out here running full speed, you know, ready to return the ball, especially, and I can only imagine how ready they are with the score being 7-0. So, you know, that's good that we're here. We're ready to return the ball and hopefully get some yards. That's the only thing I just hope we can do, is get some yards, get some yards. I mean, anything to get us closer to their defensive end zone would be great. And I know we have faith, and I know we can do it, because, I mean, after taking a loss last week, that was most definitely a tragedy, and I know that the Baker Hornets don't plan on doing that twice.
You're right. We need some points. We need to be able to take home the win, and one team's going to need to go home and take the loss, and we're hoping that it'll be Davidson tonight.
Yes, and our very own Cameron Young did get the ball. And now we are going back down to Stephany with an update on the Baker offense from the sideline.
Okay, so I just got back from the 10, and you can feel the pressure and because Davidson is winning right now, and we need to score some points to be tied up. But the coaches are very calm because we still got a lot of time and game to play, and they're pretty confident that they're still gonna win this game. Back to you guys.
You can scream and you can. Oh.
And now our Baker offense is now lined up on the 10-yard line. And let's just hope for some execution in moving up the ball as it has been handed off to Fernando Bullops, who is running the ball and did just make a clean cut being tackled right before the 30-yard line. And that is good to see the execution. This is just what we needed with 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock and Davidson being up by 7 to our score of 0. So this is exactly what we needed in this game.
You can see that the pressure of the time left and the score has definitely been taken in by our players, and they are ready to get some yards as we have a new set of downs near the 25-yard line, and they need to get some points on the board. It'll be difficult, but I think that we can do it before we go into halftime.
Yes, and a flag has actually just been thrown on the plate. From the looks of things, we really can't tell what it was, but we can just wait and hear for the roar. And actually, the Bakers' offense, the flag was on the Bakers' offense, and the ball has been pushed back right on the 23rd yard line.
Yes, we need to be patient, and we need to be able to calm down, and we need to be able to think clearly, and we need to be able to execute the plays. We have some good plays. We just need to be able to execute them properly. And everyone, I think that they are wrapped up in the loss that their first loss this season from last week.
Yes, and a pass was actually just made on our wide receiver, Greg Carroll, and it was completed, and he was stopped right before the 30-yard line. And that is very good that Greg Carroll did complete the pass because, hey, we moved up in our yards, and that's just what we need.
We are now near the 30-yard line. Unfortunately, when number 23 was able to catch the ball, he was thrown around a little bit, pushed around and shoved around by the Davidson Warriors, which is not very sportsmanlike conduct. But we were able to move past that. We're now at the 30-yard line with our second down, and we're ready to get some positive yards.
Yes, positive yards is just what we need as Devin actually throws the ball onto the Baker sideline.
You're
know, I can just only imagine how he feels, even though he didn't start tonight, but he is under a lot of pressure trying to fulfill his duties as being a senior and as being a quarterback on this team.
You're right.
And I know our offense and defense is very under pressure after judging that we can't move the ball as good as we'd like to. And I know our defense is under pressure judging that they couldn't stop the ball as good as they like to.
We only have less than 2.5 minutes left in this half of the game.
And Davidson Robinson did just throw the pass to Greg Carroll, and he did execute right past the 35-yard line, did move the ball. Unfortunately, the ball was stopped, but like I said, at this point, any yard is good. And it's good to see that Greg Carroll is doing good tonight, bringing
he's
the
getting
Baker
us some
Hornets.
positive yards.
Yes, being a great offensive playmaker, giving us the yards that we need to get us closer to that defense's end zone. And now we have actually moved up to midfield at the 50-yard line, and our offense is here. We're even closer than ever, half and half, and all we have to do is go right into the defense's.
We have a new set of downs. We have a new chance, and we need to be able to run the 49 yards and be able to get some points on the board in less than 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Yes, and I most definitely think it will be possible if we just fulfill our job, do our duties. I know the linemen, they're doing pretty good with blocking, and the wide receivers are doing pretty good with making the plays, and the quarterback is doing pretty good with completing the passes. And Cameron Young has just been tackled right at the 45-yard line, and the pass was completed. So, I mean, that's good that the pass is completed.
You're right. We now have 5 yards to go until we receive our second down. our new set of downs, and we need to be able to get those 5 yards. We need to be able to pick up some downs in the next 1 minute and 51 seconds and be able to get some points on the board.
Yes, most definitely with that just being caught. And that second down, and we are ready to go. Oh, and a fumble has just been made by Fernando Bullocks.
Yes, he threw the ball to number 5, Fernando Billups, and he dropped it. Was able to pick it back up and be able to run near the 40-yard line as we head into our third down. This is not looking good as we head into
Yes, it is
the
not
halftime.
looking good, but as I can see and as I believe it all is everything that's happening with our offense tonight and the little mistakes that we're coming of is just the pressure factor that's got us doing this. But I still have faith and hope with 1 minute and 42 seconds on the clock and our guest, Davidson Warriors, leading us up by 7 to our score of 0. And the pass was not completed by Greg Carroll. And it looks like the ball was a little overthrown and a flag was thrown at the 46-yard line. And I mean, just imagine if that pass would have been completed. Greg Carroll would have caught it and I mean, he was wide open. That was just the stretch we needed to score. And I mean, I just can't say over and over again how bad I am on the tip of my seat because I'm really longing for the Baker Warriors to recover their record of 3-1 and get their revenge on this team as they lost last week with 1 minute and 35 seconds on the clock. But the offense is good. The offense is ready, and it's just good to know that we're out here doing our best, and really that's all that matters. And the ball has just been ran up the middle, stopped right before the 30-yard line.
We were able to see that there's a penalty on the defensive side, which was able to bring us up a couple more yards near the 31-yard line. And so we only have 31 more yards to go. We are on our second down, 1 minute and 29 seconds left in the game. We need to be able to run those 31 yards and be able to get into the defensive end zone.
Yes, most definitely. We just need to be able to score. So, I mean, we can feel a little good going into halftime as both bands are gathering for the halftime show. The only thing I'm really looking forward to see right now is that scoreboard change.
Yes, I agree. We need to see a change in the competition, the competitive side in our players. We need to be able to see an uplift in their skill. We know they have it. We know they've got it. It just seems that they're hiding it for now, and they need to be able to bring that up in the next 1 minute and 29 seconds and leading into the second half.
Yes, most definitely. I totally agree with you because the skill setting is definitely here. You can see that both teams are very skilled and very trained and coordinated, and we are here, and our offense is huddled up, and the coach is talking to them, and they're getting ready to go back out with 1 minute and 29 seconds on the clock, hopefully being able to execute and move the ball and move past every defensive player and just not getting tackled or sacked or no bad tragedies right now. So let's just hope that we can score and run the ball into the defense's end zone.
You're right. You can see that we're lined up on our second down at the 31-yard line.
And the pass was just intercepted by number 35 on Davidson's side, and he is upfield, and he has just scored, making the score go up
13-0. It seemed that number 3 ran to go tackle him, but slipped, and their Davidson player was able to dodge the tackle and run around him and still be able to make it into the end zone, into the offensive end zone.
Yes, this is not good. Nothing is not going as we planned at this moment. I mean, judging what happened last week, I was expecting, more out of our team. I expected more execution, and now the score will be 14 to our 0 because the field goal the extra point has just been made.
We are now 1 minute and 14 seconds left in the game. They are beating us 14-0. We have no points on the board, and we need to be able to get any points on the board at this point.
Yes, any points on the board at this point would be great. When their offense goes back out and our defense goes back out, it would be good if we can, catch a pick six like number 35 did on Davidson's defense and did take the ball into our end zone. So
You're right.
let's just hope we can recover everything that's happening. Let's just hope we can get some points on the board for our sake, hopefully before we go into halftime. But the chances are looking mighty, mighty, mighty slim.
You're right. We only have a minute and 14 seconds left as Davidson is getting ready to kick the ball off to our side. We need to be able to be there. We need to be able to get the ball and be able to run it downfield. I know it's very discouraging. You can see it in the fans' face and the Baker students' faces, but I don't think that they've given up. They're just a little bit discouraged, but they haven't given up.
They most definitely haven't given up at all. It's just that they know how good of a team we are, and they know what we're capable of. And me and you sitting here commentating know what we're capable of.
Yes, you're right. He was able to kick the ball down all the way down to number 1.
Which is our wide receiver by the name of Cameron Young.
Yep. He was able to get the ball. Called it a fair catch, but it was thrown back.
Yes. Looks like they will be punting the ball off again. And looks like our punt return team will be out here again. And we're just hoping that the ball can move upfield. We can execute, just do whatever we have to do to get into the defense's end zone at this point, with 1 minute and 14 seconds still being on the clock and the score still being 14-0.
They're lining. Number 6 is on the offensive side, is getting ready to kick the ball back off to the Baker Hornets. Not getting very good response from the Hornets, but they were able to catch the ball, and they're beginning to run it downfield.
Yes, and our very own number 7, he is getting leverage, he is getting yards, and he is running, and he was just tackled at the 50-yard line. But like we said earlier, any amount of yards is good at this point. That was most definitely good running from the 5-yard line all the way up to the 50-yard line. He most definitely executed upfield, and that's good. This is just what we need tonight, as we are down by 14 points. So this is just the type of penetration and action we want to see this game.
They felt the pressure, and they acted on that pressure. They ran from near the 10-yard line all the way down to the 50-yard line, but they still have 50 yards to go in order to receive any points on the board. They need to be able to get some positive yards. They need to be able to defend the quarterback, but it seems that there was a fumble
on the plates,
and the snap was incomplete, as Fernando was not able to get the ball.
And we are, after, penetrating upfield and getting upfield, I, expected a little bit more out of our very own offense and offensive line as they were here. But a fumble being made, no hope has been lost. We have just lost 10 yards.
The clock is still ticking down with 25 seconds left. We are brought back to the 40-yard line, and we're not able to pick up any positive yards, very many positive yards like we had hoped for in these last few seconds. So it's still counting down with 12 seconds left until we go into halftime.
Yes, most definitely. I can only imagine that we are going to have time. So once again, we are live from the Hive with me, myself. Welcome if you weren't welcome before, and good evening. It is me, Ashton Dickinson, with my fellow commentator, Katelyn, and we are going into halftime with the Davidson Warriors being up by 14 and us being down by 14.
We can see as the two teams head back to their field houses, I fear for what Coach Smith has to say to our team right now.
Yes, most definitely, but I most definitely feel that when they come back out and go back head to head again second half, that everything will be good.
I really hope so.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, we present the Pride of Baker High School Marching Band under the field direction of Asia Hope. Hannah Robinson and Isabel Ferguson. The 2017 edition of the Pride of Baker High School Marching Band is an amazing design that deals with the concept of light and color. Our show, entitled Luminosity and Other Colorations, features Eric Whitaker's Roots Orinque and Bruce Springsteen's Blinded by the Light. Part 2 is entitled Green, featuring the traditional folk song Green Sleeves and trumpet soloist Ethan Walsh. Part 3 is called Blue and uses George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue, featuring flute soloist Lily Holcher and trombone and baritone duettist Evan Moles and Chloe Eubanks. Tonight the band will be performing part 1, 2, and 3. Drum majors, Asia Hope, Hannah Robinson, and Isabel Ferguson. Is your band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Pride of Baker High School Marching Band. Our halftime show tonight is brought to you this evening by Majestic Tire, Mobile's finest cuts, Bennett Orthodontics, Bob's Downtown Restaurant, Palmer's Toyota, G&E Services Corporation, Ladies and gentlemen, the Pride of Baker High School Marching Band. Other contributors to the halftime tonight is Spectronics Incorporated, AAA Fire Protection Incorporated, Coburn Construction, Ebonic Corporation, Pickett Orthodontics, Millsacks and Associates Incorporated, Donahue Orthodontics, and Representative Victor Gaston. The Pride of Baker High School Marching Band is directed by Mr. Sidney Dudo, Mrs. Michelle Dardenbaugh, Mr. Greg Puckett. The color guard instructor is Marsha Foster. Our dance team instructors are Kylie Williamson and Dallas Baggett. Our percussion instructors are Tony Schulte, Andrew Conniff, and Rachel Hawkins. We'd like to say a special welcome to the Davidson High School Band and their director, Mr. Tim Baker. And to our hometown fans, go Hornets!
Does anyone here know how to turn the mic on? Are the mics on? Do you know if the mics are on?
Yeah. Katelyn,
Yes.
they're on, aren't they?
Don't forget to order your 2018 yearbook. See the school website for more details. And you can avoid long lines at future home football games by purchasing your ticket online at www.gofan.com and /Baker Hornets or by downloading the GoFan app to your smartphone. Go to Season's Pizza after game, get $1 off the price of the adult buffet by wearing your team's jersey, uniform, or Baker t-shirt. And go to Season's Pizza and get $1 off the price.
And here we are about to kick off the ball and hopefully be able to stop the Davidson Warriors from returning it into our end zone because we are now in the third quarter and our score is unfortunately 14-0. Baker is down by 14. So let's hope we can penetrate these 2 quarters and get the ball really, really rolling.
You're right, you're right. We seem to be getting a good start as we kick the ball near the 40-yard line. Unfortunately, there is a flag on the play. I'm not really sure as to which side has the penalty, but we need the yards.
Yes, we most definitely need the yards. It seems as our defense is about to go in. Let's hope that they can penetrate, stop the ball, and execute and get after it and get in the backfield. Let's just hope we can do whatever it takes to keep the Davidson Warriors from scoring again because if scoring again, it might not look too good. But I'm thinking we have a pretty fair chance because, I mean, hey, up by 14, 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points, we're good to go. And then we'll be tied, but hopefully we can just get 3 touchdowns. I mean, I'd feel even safer, and this is exactly what our defense is doing, making the tackle right before the 40-yard line by number 35 by Ryan Richard.
I'm hoping that whatever the coaches had to say to their players, that it was able to lift their spirits, get them off the loss that we're facing right now, and get their heads in the game and getting ready to get some points on the board, because that's really, really what we need right now as Davidson has the ball and it begins to run it downfield.
Yes, what we need right now is penetration. What we need right now is just to be able to stop the ball in general because, I mean, from my standpoint of view, and Katelyn, I'm pretty sure from your standpoint of view, I feel safer going into overtime for this game than just beat tremendously.
Right. Unfortunately, Davidson was able to get another set of downs at the 50-yard line where they now have the ball, which means they have 50. They're at midfield and they have 50 yards to go, and we can't let them get that far. We can't let them get any more points on the board as their player runs down but is brought down near the 50-yard line, but there's another flag on the play.
Yes. And it's good to see that our defense is getting in the backfield, getting after our very own number 10, Terrell Crane, did just stop the play by tackling the wide receiver.
It seems that our defense was in the clear on that penalty, and that the offense, Davidson was brought back near the 43-yard line, 42-yard line.
And now they are at the 1st and 40. Davidson offense is about to get down and get the ball to the quarterback, and let's just hope we can stop it.
They have the ball,
and we
were
did
able to
make
stop
a
them.
tackle right before the 45-yard line, so we're doing pretty good. Our defense's energy has most definitely took a energy hike. It has been boosted, and that's what matters.
You're right.
And I know our coaches have the ability to coach every team member and team player to the best of their ability.
We're only 2 minutes into the game. Davidson has possession of the ball near midfield, and we can't let them get any further. We need to keep pushing the offense back.
And what we're doing, you have our very own number 1 Ozzy Quinty getting in the backfield, stopping him. No yards were even made. The pass was handed off from Davidson quarterbacks to number 31 by the name of Kobe Blunt, and we did stop the ball. And we are bringing the penetration. We are playing head-to-head. We are playing very good with this team, and this is the only thing that matters.
Our defense is there. They're definitely there. They're showing off their skill as they push the offense further back into their own end zone. I think that they're hoping if they are not able to receive a interception, I'm hoping that they're striving to get a safety.
Yes. And as you can see, we are doing really good. We are applying the penetration. A little scuffling here and there, but with a game this intense, I can't even imagine what the Baker Hornets are going through. And now our punt return team are going on the field as a special team to actually receive the ball and hopefully get it in the end zone because I know we're capable of doing it. We've did it
Right.
too many games. That's why our record is exactly 2-1 now.
Davidson is lying near the 40-yard line, getting ready to make the punt. They are able to do it, and it is picked up near the 35-yard line. We've got a while to go until we're able to get into the defensive end zone, but we now have possession of the first down. So.
And yes, and I'm just looking at how pumped our head coach, Coach Danny Smith, is. He's very pumped, which is actually, once the head coach pumped, the whole team's pumped.
Yep, that's always a good sign is when your coach is confident in your team and your team's abilities. It's always a good sign. And I think he's got the confidence that he has in this team is reflecting in the team's ability. But they need to be able to prove their ability as they're getting ready to make the snap.
Yes, and that was almost a rocky pass, but we have our very young wide receiver up the field, and he is running, and he is still up, just got tackled at the 45-yard line. Our very own Jacoby Rogers, number 7. He is executing. He is doing what we need to do to get our score on the board. Being third quarter, 8 minutes and 18 seconds, we are handling the game at a very good pace, and we are handling the game in a very good way. And Jacoby Rogers and everyone else is playing right. It was a little rocky when Devin first got the ball after it was hiked from the center, but everything ended up good. The handoff ended up being completed, and we did get yards. And our very own fullback, Dalen Stallworth, tackled at the 45-yard line as well, just got upfield.
That last play was very impressive because he was able to run through Davidson's defense and be able to get a whole new set of downs even though all opposition was looking at him, and it was as if he couldn't do it, but he was able to, and he's able to get us positive yards, which is what we need at this moment. Is we need that optimism and we need that type of hard work going into this game.
And yes, and just watching Davidson's defense, they see that we are actually coming hard and we are actually getting after it, and that is what matters. And a flag.
Another flag on the play.
On the plates at the 35-yard line. False start.
We don't know whether it's on.
And it
is on Baker's.
On Baker.
We are now being brought back near the 45-yard line. We were brought back 10 yards.
Yes, unfortunately.
We need to be able to clear our heads. We need to be more patient, and we can't jump start it. We have to be able to wait for the snap and be able to wait patiently.
Yes, because it's just because all the pressure, which is why they're playing like this head to head, not clearly thinking straight, but a pass has been completed by our very own Greg Carroll. Stopped and completed right at the 20-yard line.
Number 1 seems a little bit shocked in himself able to catch that, but he was able to. We now have possession of the ball at the 25-yard. Never mind. I'm confused on what happened there, but there seemed to be some type of penalty on the play, and it didn't count, and we are brought back to our original position.
Yes, we really are. We are brought back to the 45-yard line when we just got under the 20-yard line. I really don't know what happened there.
I don't know what happened there.
From what I've seen,
bad call on the refs.
One-handed and cuffed it securely with 2 hands.
He did. He was brought down, but he had it in his hands when he received it. And it seemed that they're trying it again, but unfortunately it is out of bounds.
And it was overthrown, which caused it to be out of bounds. And the punt team are now going out to kick it to Davidson's punt return team. Let's just hope when our offense gets back in that we can execute.
Although we haven't been able to get very far so far into the second half, you can see that the players are taking the words that their coaches have told them to heart and are showing that through their work ethic. And they're striving to get some points on the board, and they're trying to get some positive yards, and they're working hard to do so.
Yes. I couldn't agree with you more. Our defense is out, and
Robert Malone was able to kick it from the 40-yard line all the way to the 15-yard line on the defensive end. On Davidson's end.
And our starting lineup of defense, ends, nose tackles, secondary, and everything is going in now. Let's just hope they can stop the ball, continue to penetrate, and continue to execute. The defense has been playing well tonight. The only problem that the Baker Hornets are undergoing is getting points on the board, which I'm not too worried about because no heads are down. Heads are still held high, and we're doing our very best in whatever it takes to stop the ball.
And we were able to as they tried to throw the ball, but were wrapped around and brought down at the 15-yard line, and we're not able to get any positive yarding in that play. And it seems that our defense is upping their game and working harder than they did last quarter, last half, and are succeeding.
Yes, I hope that everything goes well. I just hope that we continue to execute and play our defense is in the game, getting in the backfield, stopping the ball, and most definitely penetrating. We can only just hope that a fumble can be made on the plate that can get our offense back out there because what we right now is to score. That's the only thing we're after. That's the only thing I feel like we should be after by being down 14 points.
Yep.
Davidson
still has possession of the ball, but they're at their third down, and we are closer to the offensive end zone than they are to our end zone. And so, the optimism is high. You can see the spirit in the fans is high. The Hornet hooligans are very pleased with the work from our football team heading into the second half, as we only have 5 minutes and 33 seconds left in the game, left in the third quarter.
Yes, this game has most definitely had us on the tip of our seats. Very stressful. Right. We're just waiting to see how everything plays out. I do have lots of faith. I'm putting all my faith to the Baker Hornets tonight. I know that we can overcome this. I know that minor setback last week will lead to a major comeback this week. I just want to think positive. I want to wrap my faith around this game. And I'm pretty sure Katelyn does as well with the score being 14-0, 5 minutes and 30 seconds in the third quarter.
Davidson has now had their third down, and they're still near the 20-yard line. They're trying to run diagonal.
And Kobe Blunt, unfortunately, did get upfield past the 35-yard line, put him on the 38-yard line. He is running. He is being a powerhouse. And our defense did stop the ball, fortunately.
Unfortunately, in that last play, Davidson was able to get another set of downs and were brought near the 30-yard line. But that means that they still have 8 yards to go into making a touchdown. So we'll see how this has to go.
Yes, and he was tackled backfield. The quarterback handed the ball off to the running back, Kobe Blunt, from Davidson High School, and he was tackled backfield at the 25-yard line. So that is good. No game, no yards were lost. We're just where we wanted, even though we would love for them to lose yards, but we would hate for them to gain yards. So we're doing our very best to stop the ball, penetrate, get after, get in the backfield, and just do everything.
Another timeout has been called by Davidson, but it seems that Baker knew and knows what Davidson is trying to do, and therefore they're able to stop them before it happens. Our defense is definitely upping their game since the last half, and they're pushing them back, and they're getting closer and closer to us getting some points on the board, which is what we need. We need to get some points on the board before we go into the fourth quarter in 4 minutes and 42 seconds.
Yes, most definitely we need to get points on the board. I just can't wrap my head around the score being 14-0 in the third quarter with 4 minutes and 42 seconds on the clock, with the down being at 2nd and 15. I just can't wrap my head around this score because I know this isn't how the Baker Hornets played. The Baker Hornets is a powerhouse. That's what we're known for. We set the record on the field for our first game, and we'll continue to set records.
And like I said last half, we cannot take this L. We have to go home with the W, or else our winning record will come to a cease because we are now 2-1, and if we take this L, it'll be 2-2, and no team wants that. No team wants to go into their season with 2 wins and 2 losses.
Yes, I can totally agree with you on that one.
Davidson still has possession of the ball. They're at their 3rd down, the 31-yard line, and they still have more than 10 yards to go as we were able to bring them back in the last couple of plays. And we haven't let them get any further in this play as they were only able to get to the 32nd yard line.
Yes, most definitely.
I think their only choice, Davidson's only choice, is to punt the ball as our punt return team heads out there, and Davidson's team gets ready to punt the ball and kick it downfield.
Hello. But yes, let's just hope we can execute this ball up the field and just put a stop to everything that they're trying to do.
You're right. The punt was made. It seemed a little bit lopsy, but we were able to pick up the ball and get some positive yarding by number 3.
And Chris Davis is up the field and did just get tackled right under the 30-yard line. He did execute. He did get after it. He did go upfield. And
he was able to cut through the Davidson Warriors, cut through and get near the 30-yard line, and was able to gain almost 20 yards in that play, which was very unexpected but very appreciated and needed in this 3rd quarter.
Yes, I just can't express the share of enjoyment on my face. I am very excited. I'm very happy that happened.
We now have 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. We are closer than we have been all game to our end zone, and we need to get some points on the board, or else we are going to take this loss and we're gonna get our losing streak. There seemed to be some penalty on the offensive side, which Baker seems to appreciate. Not so much the Davidson side.
Yes, I'm very attentive towards this game. I'm watching closely to make sure I do everything right, and I'm watching closely to make sure everything is done right. And our punt return team is now going out to hopefully return the ball and get in the defensive end zone as the punt team kicks it.
You're right.
All we really need right now is just to score, execute, and get upfield. I cannot stress that enough because scoring will really set the tone. Like, hey,
you're right.
We scored and get the point. Hey, we're 14-7. We're coming back, and that's what we need.
Davidson has possession of the ball at the 33rd yard line, and they're getting ready to punt it as it is their 4th down. We're able to pick up the ball, but it was a fair catch as we were not about to run through the Davidson Warriors. But now Baker has possession of the ball with 2 minutes and 57 seconds left in the game, and we are taking the loss of 0-14.
And our offense is now going back out, all heads held high, full speed ahead. We are going back up. Our O-linemen again lined up on the ball. Our quarterback is ready. Our wide receivers are ready, and we're ready to just make a play and let that play be a great one.
We now have possession of the ball at the 40-yard line. Fernando Billups throws it to number 7 and is able to cut through past the 30-yard, past the 30, and is pushed out at the 15-yard line. Number 7 is pushed out by number 34 on the Davidson side but we were able to get closer to our end zone than we have all game. We are near the 10-yard line. We only have 10 yards to go with a whole new set of downs.
Yes, it appears, according to the refs, that he could have possibly jumped off the field when running or ran out towards the outside.
It seems that play was not acceptable to the refs, and we are again brought back. He looks to have handed off to the player, but instead number 8 runs it.
Our quarterback, David Robinson, did and is running the ball, stopping at the 30-yard line. We are back. We are in full motion. We are full speed ahead. Our head is in the game. We are ready to play some football.
Right.
Even though we did just get kicked into gear at third quarter, with it being 14-0, 2 minutes and 31 seconds on the clock. We are doing good. We are penetrating, and we are making the ball move upfield.
The clock is ticking down. It's still 14-0 possession of the ball at the 30-yard line with our first down. There seems to be a clash between the two, and it doesn't end well for the Hornets as we weren't able to get very many positive yards in that run. But we haven't given up hope, and we haven't stopped trying. We haven't yet.
Yes, and that is really the only thing that matters. That is the only thing that's good right now. We are playing positive. We are playing good. We are making sure we do take the necessary steps to do everything right.
Baker still has possession of the ball. It's our second down at the 33rd yard line. He hands it off to number 7. Number 7 takes it on the outskirts and runs it down near the 15-yard line. Go Hornets.
Yes, go Hornets. Exactly what she said. I am going to emphasize go Hornets. We are moving the ball upfield. Oh, how close and how sweet we are to the defense's end zone. I just have a few words for you. Davidson, we're coming for you.
That's right. Whatever the coaches had to say to our players, it seemed to have sunk into their hearts and into their minds and into their hands and feet as they're running the ball, throwing the ball with complete accuracy as we are 15 yards away from our touchdown. And we are pushing to get farther, or closer to our end zone as we are in our second down near the 10-yard line. We only have 10 yards to go. This is closer than we've been all game.
Yes.
And we have this chance and 2 more to get into our end zone. If we're not able to, then I'm hoping that we'll be able to get a field goal throughout this and be able to get some points on the board, however small.
Yes, but the game is looking pretty good for us. It looks like we will score according to what's been seen up to me. And our quarterback, he is running it. He is crossing the 10-yard line, and he did run outside, outskirts.
It didn't seem that we were able to get any positive yards on that play, but we were able to see the work and the hard work that they're putting into this as our quarterback was able to run it, but was run out of the field. And we still have possession of the ball near the 10-yard line. It's our third down. We are now into fourth quarter with a score of 0-14. Now we're going to go down to our sideline reporter, Stephany, on the sidelines to see how the Hornets are going up as we enter the fourth quarter.
Okay, so it's the beginning of fourth quarter, and we're still 0-14. So the hooligans are not as cheery as they were at the beginning of the game, but they're still cheering up because they have the hope that we're going to win. And the players are really stressed out because they're already tired and they don't seem like they want to play anymore because they're losing. But with hope, they'll still win. And the cheerleaders are as cheery as they have always been because they have to be cheery 24/7. It's their job. Back to you guys.
Thank you for that, Stephany. I really hope that we'll be able to bring this spirit back up as we go into the fourth quarter.
Yes, as we did just check in with Stephany Scenes, and I hope everything down there is holding up good since I am watching live from the press box. Our offense is about to go out. We are about to penetrate. The coaches are talking to them, and we are about to line up and just get the game rolling. It looks like we are going to line up on the 12.
Our offense running out there, getting ready to have we now have possession of the ball. We're at the 10-yard line. We're still at the 10-yard line, but now we have 12 minutes left in the game till the end of the game, and we still have no points on the board, so we need our offense to run the ball.
Yes, and it looks like our quarterback, Devin Robinson, is about to make it past to Greg.
But it was a fumble.
Man,
he was able to throw the ball
fumbled
after the snap, but he threw it into the end zone. He was there, caught the ball, but number 23 was not able to catch it.
Yes, his hands do appear to have dropped it a little. If only he would have caught it, we would have been 7 points on the board. We are doing good. We are still where we started, right at 12, right at the 12 mark hash.
We have 4. This is our last down. We need to get some yards. We need to be in the touchdown zone as they bring us down.
Yes.
We went to fake it, but instead we throw it brought down.
Yes.
This is very discouraging to see as Davidson now has possession of the ball.
And I just hope that we can win this game by any means, or at least get at overtime. Overtime will be so good right now. Honestly, in our case, 14-14, I take that any day over 14-0.
Yes,
because
you're right. We need some points on the board.
Yes, OT means that, hey, we have a shot. Hey, we're serious. The game is more intense. Everyone's engaged. Everyone's focused. Everyone's watching. Everyone's listening, looking closely, carefully. And the running back did just get tackled, Kobe Blunt from Davidson High School, right above the 10-yard line.
Offense seemed to try and run the ball, but we're not able to, and we're brought down near the 15-yard line.
Yeah, we just have to continue to do our job and do what we are taught to do and what our coaches have taught us to do. Our defense is doing a pretty good job at stopping the ball.
They've got their players covered, and they're as Davidson heads into their first down. They have a whole new set of downs, and we are 11 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game. Still a score of 0-14.
Me, myself, Katelyn, fans, everyone is on the edge of their seats,
hoping to get something on the board at this point.
Our defense is lined up in full gear. They're ready to go. They're lined up on Davidson's offense as the ball has been passed to Kobe Blunt, who has, and he did run it down the sideline, being stopped right before the 40-yard line.
He was unfortunately out of bounds, giving Davidson still possession of the ball with a whole new set of downs near the 40-yard line. They still have 60 yards to go, but we have to stop them. We cannot let them get any more yards. We have to bring them back.
Yes, we cannot get any more yards. We have to bring them back. We have to penetrate. We have to stop the ball. We have to execute. We have to move in this case because here it is, fourth quarter, 10 minutes, 36 seconds. Score 14-0, and a flag has been thrown on the play. It appears that Davidson's offense has fortunately jumped off sides, causing them to move back 5 yards.
It's not much, but it's
It's farther
more
away
that
from our end zone than where they need
right.
to be.
You're right. It's all that we can hope for now is that we can get some yards, that we can get closer to our end zone, and we can get them further away from getting any more points and any more yards.
Yes, most definitely. That is the only thing to stop the ball and move them back. And our very own number 12, Ron Rashard, did stop the play at the 35-yard line.
And Davidson wasn't able to get very far, and they're heading into their second down, and they'll have one more yard to go until they receive a whole new set of downs.
Yes,
and we need to stop them.
Yard to go. They do need to be stopped, and I know we have the ability to stop them because our defense is doing very good right now with getting in the backfield.
Unfortunately, Davidson was able to break loose from the swarm of Hornets and was able to run the ball, but was tackled at the 44-yard line. But this means that they're even closer to their end zone than they were before with a whole new set of downs.
Yes. They are even closer being at the 45-yard line, closer to our defensive end zone than ever right now. This is not the closest they have been all game, but this is the closest they are right now. Right now it's all that matters with 9 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock.
Davidson has possession of the ball at the 44-yard line with their first down. They try to run it, but don't get very far as they are brought down at the 41st yard line by our Hornets. The defense is starting to take their job more seriously as they're bringing them down a whole lot, but they need to work harder in order for us to be able to retrieve the ball and have possession of it and get some points on the scoreboard in the next less than 9 minutes left in the game.
Yes, our defense and offense must work hard and get after it by any means necessary because we are down by 14 and we really can't afford second of the loss with that good a reputation that we have.
Davidson has the ball and is able to break loose, knocking down the ref in that time. Poor ref. I don't think that was part of his job to be a football player. But they are able to knock him down, and it seems that one of the players is injured in this debacle.
As we gauge in closely to see which player it was, to see which number is on the player.
You can see as our team members take a knee and our hooligans all lift up their arms to support their fallen player.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Davidson is not showing the same respect. This seems serious as the physicians are surrounding the player. I'm not really sure what number it is, but he seems to be pretty injured as he's lying on his back, unable to move. And we really hope that he's able to get up and be able to play, if not in the next game, then in the next couple of games for the rest of the season.
Yes. We're just hoping that we're hoping everything is okay with our very own Baker player.
Fortunately, the player is able to get up, number
31. Which is our very own Hunter Roberts.
He's a linebacker. He is one of our upcoming spotlight players, and he seems to be okay as he's walking off the field. Davidson still has possession of the ball. Their first down at the 32nd yard line. They only have 32 yards to have 8 minutes and 36 seconds to get points on the board, but we also need our defense to be able to take them down in these next 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yes, we do need our defense to be able to take them down, like you said, in this 8 minutes and 23 seconds. I just hope I know we can stop them. There's hoping. You just have to go based off what you know and based off how you see the Baker Hornets play.
Davidson makes the snap, and number 31 tries to run through, but isn't able to get through the swarm of Hornets and is brought down at the 34th yard line.
Yes, we are playing good. We are playing great. We are putting a stop to the ball, and pretty soon the offense will be out. And let's just hope that the offense can move the ball, penetrate, execute, excel, everything above to get some points on the board. I do have faith in the Hornets, like I've been saying this whole entire game, even with 7 minutes and 35 seconds on the clock.
They still have possession of the ball, but they're going into the third down as they weren't able to get through the swarm of Hornets and are brought down again at the near the 35-yard line, at the 37-yard line. Our defense is upping their game. Unfortunately, our offense has been able to do as well, but the defense has been able to bring them down repeatedly, and is showing their enthusiasm and spirit, as well as our student and faculty.
Yeah, it is showing very much enthusiasm and spirit. Our defense is playing well. They are playing great. They are doing everything to the best of their ability, and it's good to see that.
Davidson has the possession of the ball, but called a timeout
This
in
is
order
the
to discuss
fourth
their plans.
timeout that Davidson has called throughout the game, and let's just hope we can just put a stop to this score and just hope we can execute.
As I'm looking down at the sidelines, our football players don't seem too enthusiastic about what's to come in the next 6 minutes and 51 seconds left in the game. It's got to be discouraging to see your teammates out there and not being able to help them.
Yes, it really does got to be discouraging. I know it's discouraging for me by me being on the JV to sit here and watch as the varsity players are who I know that they are performing to the best of their ability because I see these guys every day. I look up to these guys, and it's just very discouraging to know how good we are, to know how down our score is. But our defense is still penetrating, executing, and putting a stop to the ball.
Davidson had possession of the ball and was running it past their line of scrimmage to the 20-yard line, but were brought down by the Hornets. Unfortunately, they were able to pick up 10 yards in that last play, putting them first down and 20 yards to go to goal, which is not what we want. 6 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game with us having no points on the board.
Yes, this is not at all what we want. We want to penetrate. We want to get a score on the board some way, somehow. We know that it is possible with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. I know the Baker Hornets can come back, and I know the Baker Hornets can do it. Like I said, me being on the JV team, I look up to these guys, and I watch how these guys practice every day.
Unfortunately, our defense was able to bring them down without letting them get very far. So they were brought back past their starting point at their second down near the 34-yard line, meaning they have to continue on further in order to get closer to their goal.
Yes, and like I said, here we are sitting on faith and on the edge of our seats, knowing that the Baker Hornets will come through, knowing that the Baker Hornets will excel.
Another timeout is called by Davidson in order to talk about the upcoming plays, which gives us the chance to be able to discuss what we need to do in order to get some points on the board.
Yes, our coaches, all of the Baker Hornets coach staff are usually good and are always good with strategies and ways to score and ways to get after it when using the football. And I know we can get after it in this case and score.
As I look out over at the student section with all the dance team members and the color flag, they all seem very excited as they follow the cheerleaders and raising up their pom-poms. Respect to the players and their hard work and their efforts in trying to get this game out with with a W.
Yes. With the record of 2-1, we are under pressure more ever right now because going 2-2 does not sound good. 2-1 doesn't even sound good, but you win some, you lose some, but we know we're better than our losses.
You're right. Davidson has possession of the ball. They had their second down near the 30-yard line. He hands it off to his player, and they're able to get another touchdown as number 31 was able to run it past the Hornets' defensive line and into their touchdowns.
Yes, right now 6 points have been added to the scoreboard or will be added to the scoreboard, causing the score to be 20-0. And if the extra point is made, the score will then be followed and updated to 21-0.
We only have 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. This is not good for.
Yes, will the Baker Hornets come back or can the Baker Hornets come back?
The goal is good and the point is made, making the score 21-0. Fourth down, 5 minutes and 21 seconds left in the game. As I look down at the sidelines, the coaches are filled with pressure. This is not what they want to see. This is not what they want their players to be working towards. They want to take home the W, but unfortunately, this is probably not the case, as they're willing to admit to themselves.
Yes, like I said, this 7-8 region matchup is very tough.
Right.
Us going to war with the Davidson Warriors isn't going as we had planned. They are up by 21 and we are down by 21. The coaches are filled with a lot of pressure. Our punt return team are going out to hopefully be able to punt, to return the ball into the end zone safely and securely, not being touched, not being brought down, because that's really what we need. And we have our very own number one, Cameron Young, who plays wide receiver. He is deep for the Hornets for the punt return team. And let's just hope that they can return it because the Warriors are up by 21-0 and things aren't looking good right now with 5 minutes and 21 seconds being left on the clock.
Unfortunately, it seems that the pressure has caught up with the players as they have been unable to get any points, and the devastation from last week's loss seems to have caught up to them as well as they stand ready to receive the kickoff made by Davidson Warriors. The kick is good, and we pick up the ball and do not run it and are stuck at the 25th yard line with 75 yards to go to get to our.
Yes, the ball was caught by our very own number 89, Tavius Hill, who is a wide receiver for the Baker Hornets. And our offense is now going out. They're pumped, they're ready. No hope lost. They're ready. And let's hope we can get the ball into the end zone. Do whatever it takes. I don't know if the quarterback is going to throw it deep. I don't know if we're going to hand it off and run it. I just know we are capable of stopping. I just know we're capable of moving the ball upfield.
The quarterback throws it off to number 7. Number 7 is brought down at the 30 after much tribulation by the Davidson Warriors. That was Jacoby Rogers, and that was a great play made by him with some great effort as he tried and pushed hard to get to the 30-yard line.
Yes.
Giving us a new downs. Unfortunately, we are pulled back due to a penalty on our side.
Yes, unfortunately we are. Let's just hope everything can go uphill and not downhill, because at this point we're riding on hope. We really can't afford to lose another game.
We can't afford to let them get another touchdown, but we have possession of the ball at the 20-yard line. We throw it, but unfortunately it is out of bounds, and we only have 4 minutes and 39 seconds to make up all that has been lost throughout this game.
Yes, we have 4 minutes and 39 seconds to make up everything that has been lost throughout this game, just like my fellow commentators said here. We are undergoing a lot of pressure with no points on the board. I can only imagine what this, what the Baker Hornets are going through by me being a football player. I know it's not easy to take a loss, and it's not easy to take a win either, because you have to work hard to win. So let's just hope we can move the ball and execute. The pass was incomplete. Not sure who it was going to there. It did just hit the field right at the 25-yard line. It is a dead ball.
We still have possession of the ball. We have to make up for lost yard. We have our third down near the 25th yard line, and that means we still have almost 75 yards to go, and we only have 4 minutes and 32 seconds to do so. And even then, I'm not sure if we'll be able to make up all the points that have been lost throughout this game.
Yes, I'm not sure if we'll be able to make up all the points that has been lost throughout the game, with the score being 21-0, because obviously if we score and if we get our extra point that is 7 points, then Davidson offense has to come back out and we have to play. Basically, everyone knows how this process goes, so we are cut a little short on time. Chances are looking a little slim. I still have faith in my Baker Hornets. Like I've said this whole game, win or lose, we're still a family. We're still a one team, one dream, and we all still bring the steam every Friday night.
Baker has possession of the ball. We have our third down at the 26th yard line. We only have 4 minutes and 32 seconds left in the game with a score of 0-21. Baker taking the loss so far. Our offense is getting ready to snap the ball off and throwing it to number 8. Number 8 throws the ball to
Jacoby Rogers, who is still upfield, who is running and who has just been down past the 50-yard line. He did secure the yards, and we are up and we are rolling with 4 minutes and 19 seconds on the clock. Even though the score is still 21-0, we have not lost hope. He has brought us hope. He has executed. He did move the ball 20-plus yards.
Yep, that was Jacoby Rogers, number 7, who was able to get us a new set of downs as we now have possession of the ball and are now offense, as we are now lined up at the 48-yard line facing our end zone, having 48 yards to go in 4 minutes and 19 seconds. If we're able to make this touchdown, I would just be happy to get some points on the board at this case. We're able to get the ball, but are run out of bounds at the 20-yard line. We now have 20 yards to go.
Yes, and Jacoby Rogers, he did complete the pass right at the 18-yard line. He is playing for the team. He is doing good, and Baker does have a first down at the 1st and 20.
We need to be able, we have 4 chances, and we need to be able to run it into we need to get some points on the board. If all we're able to do is get some points, I'm sure everyone would be happy to be able to take this loss with a little bit of dignity.
Yes. Like I said, the offense is set up good, we're coordinated right, and we are executing, and we are running, and we are getting the ball rolling, and that is a dead ball.
It seemed that number 8 threw it to number 23 or to number 1, but neither were able to be there, and the ball was dead as it was thrown out of bounds. We now have our second down at the 18-yard line, still having 18 yards to go in only 4 minutes and 3 seconds left in the game.
Yes, it appeared that the ball was supposed to be thrown to our number 1 or our very own number 23 by the name of Cameron Young and Greg Kell. We are trying to just move and penetrate and at least get some points on the board because the score is 21-0. And
unfortunately, Davidson now has possession of the ball and is running field. We need to be able to bring them down, but we're unable to do so as number 27 cuts across our defense and runs it into the goal and is able to receive another touchdown, putting their score at 27 with only 3 minutes and 41 seconds left
Yes, things are not looking good for the Hornets. As I said earlier, as we said earlier, things are not looking good for the Hornets
They
under
aren't.
no
They aren't.
circumstances. We are not doing good. The score is about to be 27 for sure. If they get the extra point, then the score will be updated to 28. And Baker is down by 28, 3 minutes and 41 seconds in the fourth quarter. Things are not looking good for the Hornets.
It went.
Chances are mighty, mighty slim. And
It went in the direction that we wanted it to. We were so close to our end zone, but instead there was an interception made, and they were able to run it all the way from their own 5-yard line to their own goal.
yes,
But there's a flag on the play. Apparently there wasn't a touchdown. They weren't able to get it. One more yard to go, but there's a flag on the play, and we're rendered unable to get that touchdown.
3 minutes and 36 seconds in the fourth quarter.
Davidson is being brought back to the 10-yard line, having 10 yards to go to make their score 27. The score is 21-0. They have their ball, and they're getting ready to line up with only 3 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game.
Yes. Chances are slim. We are trying to do our best. We are doing our best by trying to execute the ball. It is a little discouraging. I've become a little discouraged because I know how these Hornets feel tonight. Like I said, by me being a member of the JV team, we all share one dream. We all are one team, and we always bring the sting.
Seemed that there was another penalty on the offensive side, and they were brought back to near the 13-yard line, trying again to get into the touchdown, which they were able to, as they were able to run in and bring up their score to 27-0 with 3 minutes and 27 seconds left in the game. That was Kobe Blunt on the Davidson side. If they're able to make this field goal, that'll bring their score to a total of 28-0 with 3 minutes and 27 seconds left in the game.
Yes. And the field goal is successful, and your updated score will appear on your scoreboard as 28 to our 0. We are down by 28. We aren't doing good right now. We are at stake very badly.
Davidson is now getting ready to kick the ball off to the Baker Hornets. Only 3 minutes and 27 seconds left in the game. I think everyone's getting to call this game as an L, as a loss for Baker, but we can't say that we haven't worked hard. It seems it was a difficult game, and we worked hard.
Yes, we have most definitely worked hard. Punt, return team out. Hopefully they can punt the ball, and hopefully we can score. Hopefully our offense can come out and score. Hopefully we can intercept and score and score and score and score, because, I mean, we need whatever to not
You're
take
right.
this L. Even though chances are mighty slim, I do have faith in my Baker Hornets. I have a lot of faith in my Baker Hornets. I'm not sure if we can make a comeback because of time management. It is a little steep with 3 minutes and 27 seconds being on the clock in the fourth quarter. 28-0.
Davidson kicks off the ball at the
And the ball
30-yard
has been
line.
caught by number 16.
He is able to pick up the ball and run it near the 35-yard line, just past it. Baker now has possession of the ball at our first down with 70 yards to go.
Yes, we are doing good. We are doing our best, trying to play well. We've played physically tonight. The problem we have had tonight is the mental factor. The score is 28-0. We played to the best of our ability, but the score is a little shaky. The score is a little rocky, and now we have to see what we must do to get some points on the board because we just can't do this. I mean, we shouldn't have to go out sad with that score being 28-0.
Seems another timeout by the refs has been called in order to analyze what has been going on. This gives our team a chance to talk to the coaches and be able to discuss what they need to do to stop Davidson from getting any more points on the board.
Yes, we have to stop Davidson. We have to penetrate, stop the ball, execute when we have the ball, move the ball when we have possession of the ball. And we just have to do our best and work very hard to make sure we run untouched, we score untouched.
Baker has possession of the ball at the 37th yard line with their first down, 3 minutes, 21 seconds left in the game. They need to be able, their offense needs to be able to hand it off to the quarterback, protect the QB, and be able to get some positive yards. The QB runs it down. Number 8 is able to run it. Number 5, was able to run it horizontal, but is brought down at the 42-yard line. Sorry, not 42. The 8-yard line.
He did run the ball, but he was brought back a little. We are playing to the best of our ability. Once again, your updated score is 28-0 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock.
The clock is ticking down. We are in second down, and we are near the 40-yard line. We still have 60 yards to go. It was handed off to number 10, I believe, but he dropped the ball. And Davidson now has possession of the ball at the only yards away from their end zone. They have 2 minutes and 31 seconds, and I think they're going to try and get another 7 points on the board, but we're hoping that our Baker's defensive line will be able to prevent this from happening.
Davidson recovers at the Baker 38-yard line.
Let's just hope we can prevent. Let's hope we can execute with 2 minutes and 31 seconds on the clock in the fourth quarter. Let's hope we can intercept the ball, do something to stop the ball, or just do great in general.
You're right. They have possession of the ball. First down, 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Another timeout has been called.
Yes, another time.
Nope, not a timeout. They had to bring back the ball to the 35-yard line. Still second down, 2 minutes and 16 seconds counting down. Baker's defense, and they need to get their defensive line together in order to stop the offense.
Yes, we are doing our best, and we are doing what is asked of us. We are playing to our best potential. Once again, I am sorry if you can hear the discouragement in my voice, but I am a little sad with the way the game has turned out.
This is not what I expected at all.
Yeah, this is not at all what I expected because we're usually the powerhouse. We usually win, and we've been doing pretty good of holding the record of winning at home.
We knew that this game was going to be difficult, but we didn't expect this.
Yes, most definitely, this was not expected. Our mindsets has definitely went left. This is not at all what we expected to happen tonight.
Davidson lines up again at the 37th yard line. Unfortunately, there's a call on the play by the refs. They're getting ready for Davidson to snap the ball. They're fourth down. This is their last attempt, and I think they're going to try and run it rather than punt it, which may be a mistake on their part. And 5 seconds left to make the snap. The snap is made. It's handed off to number 25. Number 25 tries to push through our swarm of Hornets at the 35-yard line, but is unsuccessful and is brought down, turning the ball over to Baker. With 19 seconds left in the game, it seems that Davidson is just trying to run the clock down now, avoiding any chance of Baker getting points on the board.
19 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, we have not scored yet. The score is 28-0.
Baker runs back out. They now have possession of the ball with the first down at Davidson's first yard line. I don't know what their plan is here, but they only have 19 seconds to execute it, so whatever it is, that must be good. Unfortunately, they're not able to go anywhere, and there's only 12 seconds left in the game. The players, the coaches, everyone's getting ready to call this. This is the end of the game. The score is 28-0. Baker took the loss. They worked hard, but unfortunately they weren't able to get it.
Yes, and once again, this is me, Ashton Dickinson, with my fellow commentator.
It seems that they're still going to try with the 12 seconds left in the game to try and run the ball. They still have their first down.
And we are O-line.
Davidson has possession of the ball. They're running down the clock. 10. You can hear the crowd counting down as you see Davidson's team running out there to congratulate Baker on the game whilst congratulating themselves for the win.
Yes, and once again, my name is Ashton Dickinson, and I have had the joy of commentating with my fellow commentator tonight by the name of Katelyn Constantine. We are here live from the Hive, and we did play a wonderful game. Unfortunately, the score was 28-0. We know we're better than this. Our record is now 1-2, and our record is now 2-2, making Davidson's record 2 as well. So we will get after it.
I guess this is a good chance to see what we needed to work on for the rest of the season, what our defense needs to do, and what our offense needs to work on as well.
Yes, and we will be back next Friday. You might have some different commentators, but we will be back next Friday here at the Baker Hornets Field. Jeff Davis, all the way from Northern Alabama. Have a good night, and thanks for watching.